Namaskaram friends. So in this video I am going to talk about 5 important issues which are in news recently. So these issues are vary in different areas. First one is Investor Education and Protection Fund, IEPF. I am going to talk about regarding this issue in a brief. Second one is Article 19 of the Indian Constitution. Third one is Clause 2 of the Article 19 of the Indian Constitution. In earlier I talking about Article 19 of the Indian Constitution, and in third one I am going to talk about Clause 2 of the Article 19 of the Indian Constitution, because this issues relating to Article 19 are very much in news because of the Supreme Court judgment regarding it. Fourth one is regarding Ganga Sagar Mela, and fifth one is regarding the vampire bats. So very briefly I am going to talk about all these 5 issues. So let's start with the first one, IEPF. So the Investor Education and Protection Fund, in shortcut we called it as a IEPF, is managed by the IEPF authority. This fund is managed by the IEPF authority. This authority, which was set up in 2016 under the provision of section 125 of the Companies Act 2013. Remember I just read it, but you understand it. Section 125 of the Companies Act 2013. In this there is a provision regarding IEPF. Okay, so remember IEPF managed by the IEPF authority, set up in 2016 under section 125 of the Companies Act 2013. The authority is entrusted with the responsibility of administration of the IEPF. This authority have a entrusted with the responsibility of the administration of IEPF, which besides promoting awareness among investors, so the task, the responsibility of IEPF is that promote awareness among investors, but beside that IEPF also work like make refunds of shares, unclaimed dividends, mature deposits and debentures, and so on to the rightful claimants. Okay, so this authority, a part of promoting awareness among investors, it also makes refunds of share. People invest in share, many people invest in shares, some in debentures, some in dividend. So it refund of share, unclaimed dividend which is unclaimed by the investor, mature deposit and debentures, and so on to rightful claimants. Okay, so they aware the people as well as people who are not able, you can say, understand about maturity and take their you can say shares and their debentures and their refund. That authority also provided and give these types of maturity, refunds and debenture to its rightful claimants. Okay, so now we are going to solve one question based on it. That's it. Just remember IEPF authority, its function, its you can say its function in the area and also under which it is formed, and a very important you can say information regarding it is the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, MeitY, has been appointed the nodal industry for online gaming in India. Okay, for online gaming in India, MeitY, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, has been appointed as a nodal agency. And for e-sports, the nodal agency is the Department of Sports under the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. So there are two ministry, MeitY as well as Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. So MeitY is the nodal agency for online gaming, and Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports is a nodal agency of e-sports. Okay, so a bit information, there is no you can say connection between all these two topics, but it is important because IEPF claim you can say form under Companies Act and giving these tasks, and Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology also work as a you can say nodal agency for you can say restricting or not restricting, regulating the online gaming in India. So we are going to talk about two questions because we are discussing two topics in one section. So Investor Education and Promotion Fund, IEPF, recently seen in news is managed by, first one is Securities and Exchange Board of India, no. Reserve Bank of India, no. Union Ministry of Finance, no. None of the above? Yes, because it is managed by the IEPF authority. Second question is, recently for online gaming nodal, you can say nodal industry is appointed. So which, I can say, government ministry is act as a nodal ministry in this regard for regulating the online gaming? Which ministry is the nodal agency? So first one is Ministry of you can say Ministry of Sports, because it is related to online gaming. So Ministry of Sports, Ministry of Social Justice, Ministry of Education, as well as Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Okay, so last one is correct. Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has been appointed the nodal industry for online gaming in India. Okay. Now we are going to talk about second topic, is fundamental right. A fundamental right under Article 19 or 21 can be enforced even against person other than the state or its instrumentalities. We know that fundamental right is enforced against the state, but a fundamental right under Article 19 or 21 can be enforced even against the person other than the state as well as instrumental, said the 4-1 majority ruling by the constitutional bench. So constitutional bench by the 4-1 majority said that a fundamental right under Article 19 and 21 can be enforced even against the person, but we know that other fundamental rights are not enforced against a person. It is enforced against a state but not against a person. So what is Article 19? Article 19 is part of the fundamental right of the Indian Constitution. Okay, Article 19 is a part of the fundamental right of the Indian Constitution. We know that under part 3, in which fundamental right is given, we have many fundamental rights under Article 19. Under part 13 there are many fundamental rights, like I think 14 to 14, I do not have a clear idea, but I think Article 14 to Article 24 is dealing with the fundamental rights. Okay, so Article 19, which grant freedom of speech and expression, is a right invoked against the state. Some fundamental rights such as those prohibiting untouchability, trafficking and bonded labor are explicitly against both the state and other individual, but Article 19, which guarantees freedom of speech and expression, is a right invoked against the state. This Article 19, it is available only to citizen and not to the foreigner. Okay. Next one is protection of certain rights regarding freedom of speech. There are few protection is given to rights are given regarding the freedom of speech. Okay, all citizens shall have the right to freedom of speech and expression. Okay, and protection of certain rights regarding freedom of speech. We have a certain right is given to us regarding freedom of speech and expression. First one is, all citizens have the right to freedom of speech and expression, to assemble peacefully and without arms. Okay, these are the rights given to the citizens. To form association or unions, to move freely throughout the territory of India, to reside and settle in any part of the territory of India, and to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade or business. Okay, so in a briefly I talk about it. Every citizen have the right under protection are provided under freedom of speech and expression. Is first one is, all citizens have the right to freedom of speech and expression. That means people have a freedom to say something and express their idea in the public, on the internet or wherever they want, to assemble peacefully and without arms. People have a right to assemble peaceful on any place without arms. Remember, if they have arms, there is a different issue, but without arms there is a right given to us, we can assemble peacefully. To form association or union, for doing any task, for raising a issue of any group, we have a right provided that we have formed union as well as association. To move freely throughout the territory of India. Okay, if I want to travel in India, so I have a right to move freely in any part of the India. To reside and settle in any part of the territory of India. If I want, let's say I am from Varanasi, if I want to settle in Tamil Nadu, I have a right to settle there also, because it is a fundamental right given to the people of India. to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade or business. Okay, you can practice any profession. It is not binded on you, binded you that you have to do this job only. That means you have to go to military only, you have to do business only, you have to do education field only. No, it is your choice. You can choose any profession and carry on any occupation, trade or business. Okay. Next one is, what are the vertical and horizontal application of right? Okay, a vertical application of right would mean it can be enforced only against the state, while a horizontal approach would mean it is enforced against other citizens. For example, see, vertical application means right would mean it will enforced only against the state, while a horizontal approach means it is enforceable against other citizen also. So, in vertical, if right is violated, it is enforced against the state only, but in horizontal it is against the state as well as other individual. For example, a horizontal application of the right to life would enable a citizen, if the right to life is violated, it enables a citizen to bring a case against a private entity for causing pollution, which would be a violation of the right to a clean environment. Okay. Under horizontal, we pursue, or you can say we sue a private entity also for violating our right. Okay. So, remember important concept regarding Article 19 as well as horizontal and vertical division of rights, and which right is provided given to the Indian citizen or citizen of India only, not to the foreigners, and which right is applied not only to the state but also to the other individuals. Okay. So, now we are going to solve one question based on this. Consider the following statement regarding Article 19 of the Indian Constitution. First one is, Article 19 is part of the Part 4A of the Indian Constitution. No, first one is wrong. Article 19 is part of the Part 3 of the Indian Constitution. Second one is, Article 19 which guarantee freedom of speech and expression is a right invoked against the state. Yes, Article 19 which guarantee freedom of speech and expression is a right invoked against the state. Very much true. The right under Article 19 is available only to Indian citizen and not to foreigners. Yes, this one is also correct. This right is available only to Indian citizen, not to foreigner, and it invoked right against the state and also against the other person also, no? Because it is said by the majority ruling by the constitutional bench that a fundamental right under Article 19 or 21 can be enforced even against person other than the state or its instrumentality. So, even in this statement it is written that right is invoked against the state as well as against any person. So, it is also true. So, statement 1 is correct, statement I am sorry, statement 1 is wrong because it is under part 3, statement 2 and statement 3 is correct. That means option is 2 and 3. Option is C, in which 2 and 3 are given. I am sorry. Now, we are going to talk about third question, clause 2 of the Article 19 of the Indian Constitution. Okay. So, an important provision is given in clause 2 of the Article 19 of the Indian Constitution. In this clause, it is said that this clause imposes certain restriction on freedom of speech under following heads. In earlier you can see discussion, in just an earlier topic discussion, we said that under Article 19 there are 6 to 7 rights are given to the Indian citizen, like travel in any parts of the world, go and reside in any parts of the world, and whatever you want to do your occupation, your job, your trade, as well as peacefully gather without arm, and like this there are many provisions. So, this clause I can say restrict our freedom of speech and expression on some following heads. First one is security of the state. If there, from your freedom of speech and expression, if there is a threat to the security of the state, then there is a restriction on it, you can't do it. Okay. And there, if you do it, there is a certain, you can say, rule and regulation is applied on you. Friendly relation with foreign state, on that basis we have restrict our freedom of speech and expression. In terms of maintaining public order, we have to restrict our government have to restrict, or you also have to restrict on it. Decency and morality, on the name of it, there is a government can curtail your freedom of speech and expression. Contempt of court, even in your freedom of speech and expression, you can say contempt the order of the court, then contempt proceedings is going on against you. Defamation, in case of defamation also your freedom of speech and expression is curtailed. Incitement to an offence, if you give a speech in which with the help of that speech if any you can say offence is incited, then again your freedom of speech and expression is curtailed and specific you can say specific charge is put against you. Okay, sovereignty and integrity of India. Okay, if you harm or you can say in any manner if you harm the sovereignty and integrity of India, also freedom of speech and expression is curtailed and some rules and regulation and some law is applied on you. So remember important heads on the basis of which your freedom of speech and expression is curtailed, because when you speak you have to keep in your mind that on which area you have to go so that these matters are not come in line with you, like security of the state, friendly relation with foreign state, public order, decency and morality, contempt of court, defamation, incitement to an offence and sovereignty and integrity of the India. Okay. So now we are going to solve one question based on it. Clause 2 of the Article 19 of the Indian Constitution imposes certain restriction on freedom speech under which of the following? Contempt of court, yes. Friendly relation with the foreign state, yes. Defamation, yes. Sovereignty and integrity of India, yes. So option is 1, 2 and 3, 1, 3 and 4, 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So option D is correct, 1, 2, 3 and 4. I hope you understand the topic. Okay. In the second topic there is a doubt in my mind that Article 90 is imposed only against the state or both, but it is a Supreme Court guideline that under Article 90 is you can say Article 90 is applied to both the state, against the state as well as the individual or persons. Okay. So it is the 4-1 majority of the constitutional bench. So it is clear in that discussion. So first discussion is also clear. Second topic in this discussion video there are 5 topics. So first topic is clear, second topic is clear, third topic is clear. Now we are moving on to the fourth topic. Fourth topic is regarding Ganga Sagar Mela. We know that Ganga Sagar, when Ganga meet the Sagar, that means ocean. So there is a island, Ganga Sagar Island, where every year festival Ganga Sagar Mela is going on in the West Bengal state of India. So there is a demand from the Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, that government should give national status to the Ganga Mela because lakhs, okay, so many devotees, many Hindu devotees come there and dip into the Ganga during this festival. So Chief Minister of West Bengal reiterated her demand that the centre should accord national status for the annual Ganga Sagar Mela. Earlier she also said that, but she reiterated her demand that the centre should accord national status for the annual Ganga Sagar Mela. Lakhs of Hindu pilgrimage visit Sagar Island, remember Sagar Island, from different parts of the country and to take a holy dip at the confluence of the sacred Ganga and the Bay of Bengal on the occasion of Makar Sankranti. So on the occasion of Makar Sankranti, many Hindu pilgrimage go to the Ganga Sagar and take a holy dip at the confluence of the sacred Ganga and the Bay of Bengal on the occasion of Makar Sankranti. Okay, so this is it. Just remember, Ganga Sagar Mela is an annual festival held in the West Bengal region on Sagar Island, and Chief Minister of West Bengal reiterated her demand of national status of Ganga Sagar and Ganga Sagar Mela, and in this Mela lakhs of pilgrimage, Hindu pilgrimage come here, take a holy dip on the confluence of Ganga and Bay of Bengal, okay, on the occasion of Makar Sankranti. So now we are going to solve one question based on it. Consider the following statement regarding Ganga Sagar Mela. Ganga Sagar Mela is a religious event celebrated in the West Bengal, yes. Pilgrims visit Sagar Island and take a dip at the confluence of the Ganga and the Bay of Bengal on the occasion of Makar Sankranti, yes. Like Kumbh Mela, it has been accorded national status, no. Chief Minister of West Bengal reiterated her demand for national status, but till now it is not given the national status. So statement 1 and 2 is correct. So option is 1, 1 and 2 only, 1 and 3 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. So option 1 is correct, 1 and 2 only, okay. So now we are move on to the next question called vampire bats. What vampire bats are? Vampire bats which inhabit warmer region of Latin America and boast wingspan of about 18 centimeter are the only mammals with a blood only diet. Remember, vampire bats are the only mammals with a blood only diet. There are many mammals who have a blood diet, but blood diet is the not only diet. They consume other food also, but vampire bats are the only mammals with a blood only diet, and they inhabit warmer region. Remember, warmer region of the Latin America. Okay, on the map just find out the Latin America region, and in that region which is warmer, so on that region you can find vampire bats. If you want to see vampire bats, you have to go to the warmer region of Latin America, and these are the only mammals who have a blood only diet. They reside in the colonies of 1,000. Okay, so they reside in the colony of, on one group there are 1,000 bats and reside in the colonies. Specializing in a diet of 100% blood is already quite rare among vertebrates. Okay, in vertebrate this is a very rare phenomena that they have specializing in a diet of 100% blood. So this is a very rare phenomena, and remember it, they reside in the colonies of 1,000. Okay, there are in many colonies they are living, and in every colony there are thousands of bats are living. So I hope you understand about vampire bats, its region, its food behavior, as well as number of bats or number of bats living in a group as a colony. So now we are going to solve one question based on it. Consider the following statement regarding vampire bats. First one is, vampire bats are the only mammals which feed solely on blood. Yes, this one is correct. They mainly inhabit in the warmer region of Indian subcontinent. No, in the warmer region of Latin America. So statement 2 is wrong. So option is 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 and 2. So option A is correct, 1 only. Okay, 2 1 is wrong because it is living in the Latin America region. Okay, so this is it for today's discussion. In today's discussion, we are discussing about the 5 important topics. First one is related to investor education and protection fund, as well as in this also in a subheading I talk about online regulation on online gaming, as well as Northern Ministry regarding it. Okay. In second one is we are discussing about Article 19 of the Indian Constitution, and understand that fundamental right under Article 19 or 21 is applicable to is applied not only against state but also against the individual entity or against individual also. In question 3 we are discussing about clause 2 of the Article 19 of the Indian Constitution. In discussion 4, in topic 4, in this discussion in topic 4 we are discussing about Ganga Sagar Mela. In topic 5 we are discussing about the vampire bats. So I hope you understand this discussion, enjoy this discussion and gain some perspective, some knowledge about it. And in each and every discussion remember few key points about each and every topic, so that in the end you just memorize the important headings, not all the topics. For example, in IEPF, just remember authority is of IEPF. For this IEPF, authority is IEPF authority, and it has given interested with the task of providing like refund of your debenture, refund of your bonds, refund of your investment to their rightful claimant. Okay, and like Vampire Diaries, they are living in this region and 100% food only diet. Like Ganga Sagar Mela, it is not accorded the national status till now. Like Article 19, what are your rights what are the rights given in Article 19, and in clause 2 what are the restrictions put on it. So these are a very important issue. You have to read it once, or you can say listen it once, and just remember or focus on the important key words. Okay, so I hope you love it, you enjoy it, and gain some perspective, some knowledge out of it. So namaskaram, thank you.